Hi everyone, my name's Megan Merriman. I'm the Wellness Coordinator at San Antonio Oasis, and today we're going to go over the basics of how to use Zoom on a desktop or laptop computer. These are just the basics, and this is, again, to be used on a desktop or laptop. It's going to look a little bit different if you're on an iPad or another smart device, maybe a different kind of tablet or a phone. But if you do use Zoom on, like I said, a laptop or desktop, it will look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see my PowerPoint presentation for today. And like I said, intro to Zoom. So hopefully you guys learned something today. Feel free, if you have questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Give us a call at Oasis 210-236-5954. So first, just to reiterate one more time, and I'll probably do this throughout the presentation, but this is Zoom for desktop or laptop computers. So if you are on a desktop or laptop, but it's going to look different if you're on a smart device. There may be some similarities, but it will look different, and you'll notice that as well. Now, we do plan in the future to have a Zoom class, an intro to Zoom, Zoom basics for iPads and other smart devices, but we don't have that up just yet, but we hope to do that in the future. So step one in joining a Zoom class is joining a meeting. So you can visit zoom.us, zoom.us. You'll just type that up in your search bar up here. And then once you get there, you can just click join a meeting. Now, if you want to set up an account, you can. You're more than welcome to. It gives you a couple more features. If you wanted to sign up, there are free accounts. Now, if you're on a free account, you have a 40-minute time limit for your meetings. There are also paid accounts as well, but you don't even have to have an account. You can just go to zoom.us and click join a meeting. Now, once you join a meeting, or you click join a meeting, this screen will pop up. And this is where you'll enter the meeting ID that was given to you by the person that set up the meeting. So you'll type the meeting ID in. It's usually like 8 or 9 numbers, and then you just click join. So that's one way to enter a meeting, and then you'll be in. The next way is, say you get an email. That's how sometimes we at Oasis send out our Zoom classes, is we send out an email with a link, and the link will have the meeting ID as well. So you can just click on the link, and it will automatically come up in your web browser. And you'll go through, if it's the first time you're using Zoom, you might have to go through some prompts and download some software, but then you'll just hit open in zoom.us, and it will bring you into the meeting. And again, in the email, like I said, I have the link. It'll have the meeting ID here. That's what you could also type in, what we talked about on the previous screen, if you just wanted to type in the number. And then you can, if for some reason your computer is not working, if you don't have a microphone on your computer, you might want to call into the meeting as well, so that you can talk to people and they can hear you. And that is where you'll use this dial-in number, and you'll enter the meeting ID as well. So again, that should be provided to you by whoever's hosting the meeting and sending all that information out. So if you don't have a microphone on your computer, you can always call in with your phone. So next, once you hit join the meeting, this screen may pop up. Zoom will ask if you want to join with video or without. Now, if you don't have a camera on your computer, it's not going to ask you this question, but if you have a camera on your computer, it will come up with this screen, and you can say join with video. You can click that little blue button if you want to join with your video, or if you want to join without, maybe you're having a bad hair day or something, you can join without your video. Now, this is a good time to talk about some do's and don'ts with Zoom classes or video chatting. It's good to, if you're joining with your video, to make sure that you are paying attention so everyone can see you. It can be distracting if you're walking around your house or eating or doing laundry. So if you want to do those things, you can join without your video and do that, just so it's not distraction to the rest of the group. So again, you'll join with or without your video. And then from here, it may say, please wait, the host will let you into the meeting soon. And then you'll wait in what's called the waiting room until the host is ready to let you in. Sometimes the host might wait if it's a class, like if it's an Oasis class, sometimes we wait till the class starts, the start time to let you in. But if it's just a group that you're meeting with or talking with, then they might let you in automatically. But the host will let you into the meeting. And then from here, this may be, if you've joined a meeting before, kind of some of the things that you've seen. So there's two types of views when you enter the meeting room. So there's what's called the speaker view and what's called the gallery view. So the gallery view is here on the left. This is where you can see everyone that's on the call. Now, if there's more than 8 or 9 people, there might be 2 pages. So you'll see a little arrow on the right-hand side and you can click through and see different people. And if you want to change the gallery view to what's here on the right, the speaker view, there's these little buttons up here that I've circled in red. So you can click on speaker view. It'll change you to this here on the right. So the big screen is the person that's speaking. And then up on the top there are all the rest of the people on the call. And if you want to change it to gallery so that you can see everybody in the same size, again, you just click this little button here where it says gallery view and it'll change you back to gallery view. So those are a couple of things you can try to change based on what you want to see. And if you just want to focus on the speaker and not worry about everyone else, you can do that. Or if you want to see everybody, you can click on gallery view and see everyone there. All right, the next thing that you can look at is entering full screen mode. So you can enter, it's right next to where it says gallery view or speaker view. There's a little button here, and if you hover over it with your mouse, just hover, don't click anything just yet, you'll see it'll say enter full screen mode. If you click that, it'll bring you here to the right-hand side where everything's in full screen and the participants are on the right there. And if you don't like that view, you can always exit it. It'll make it a little bit smaller. And again, exit full screen is right there on the right-hand side next to where it says gallery view. You just click exit full screen mode and it'll bring you back to the smaller version. So some people like the full screen, some people don't. It's whatever your preference is. And just because you change your screen, it doesn't change it for everyone else. So it's however you like it, and how you want to view your Zoom class. So next, when you're in full screen mode, or maybe someone is sharing their screen and it automatically goes to full screen mode. Sometimes that happens if you're in a class and the instructor is sharing their screen. It may automatically put you into full screen mode. Now you can always change that back and hit exit full screen. That's right up there on the top right. Or if you want to see the full PowerPoint in full screen, you can change the viewing options of how you see these people. So these are the full screen viewing options. If you like to see everyone in a line, that's totally fine. You can keep it that way. You'll see these two little, it kind of looks like an equal sign, where there's, and it's blue. That means that that's the view that you're seeing if it's blue. And that will show everyone in line on top of each other. If you just want to see the active speaker, the person that's presenting, and maybe it's distracting to see everyone else, this middle one here, where it's just the one bar, again, if you click on that, it'll turn that blue. That's the view that you're looking at, and that's just the active speaker. And then last but not least, if you don't want to see even the active speaker, maybe that's too distracting for you, you can hit that one on the far left. It's just a single thin line, and that minimizes the video of the speaker. So again, just some different viewing options. It's good to play around with it, see what you like, and see what works for you. Next, and this is pretty important, so again with just some good etiquette on Zoom classes, it's really good to mute yourself when you're not the one speaking. Sometimes we don't realize that there might be some background noise. Maybe our laundry is going in the back, our laundry machine, washing machine, or our dishwasher. Maybe there's some construction going on, or we have dogs barking, or whatnot. And everyone else can hear that background noise too, usually. So it's good to put yourself on mute. So in order to do that, you'll see on the bottom of your Zoom screen this button. It looks like a microphone and it says mute or unmute. So if you're muted, there's got a red line through the microphone. That means that no one can hear you. If you're unmuted, then that red line is gone and people can hear you. And you can change that at any point in time. Sometimes in Zoom classes, the host of the meeting might mute you if they hear extra background noise or whatnot, but you can always unmute yourself if you have something to say in the meeting. So again, that's how to mute and unmute yourself. And then the next one, next to the mute button, is the video. So you can turn your video off and on. Like I said, if you're just sitting paying attention to the class, sometimes people like to see your face, especially during these times. It's good to see other people. But if you are moving around, it can be a little bit distracting. So it might be good to turn your video off for those times. So similar with the mute and unmute, you can start and stop your video. So if you click on that little thing that looks like a video camera here, when the red line is on it like it is now, then the video is off and it just has your name there. And then if you click it again, then the video will turn on. And again, that's only if you have a camera. If you don't have a camera, then you don't have that option. But if you do have a camera, then you have that option of turning your video off and on. All right, and then you also have the option of changing your name. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but sometimes when we log into a class or a Zoom call, if we're on a specific device, it might say, and maybe you've seen these before, Megan's smartphone or Megan's iPad, or it might say 1234. I don't know. Sometimes it just generates a random name for you. And if you want to change your name to your name, you can do that. So if you hover over, again, just hover with your mouse, don't click on anything, hover over your picture on the screen. On the top right-hand corner, you'll see three dots, these three dots here. So you'll click that. And then one of the options here is to rename. So when you click rename, it'll pop up this little screen here and you can change your name, type in whatever you'd like, click rename, and then it will change it on your screen. So this little name here where it says Megan M, then I changed it to Megan Merriman. Once I hit rename, then you'll see on the following screens, my name will say Megan Merriman. You can always change it. You can change it as many times as you want. But that does help the instructor sometimes, or the host, so they know who you are and can call you by your name. Now, if you're calling in on a phone, that's not something you can do. It will show up with your phone number, and that's the only way that the instructor will know who it is just by your phone number. But if you're on a desktop like we are talking about today, or a laptop, you can change your name. All right, so going back to the bottom here, we talked about the mute, we talked about the video camera. The next one is the participants. So this is where you can see how many people are on the call. So with this test that we did, we had, at this point in time, when I took my screenshot, we had 3 participants on the call. So you can see that with the little number 3 next to the little people there. If you click on that, it'll pull up where I have this red circle, all the participants, and you can see there's me, San Antonio Oasis, which was the host, and then Lisa Buskey was the other person that was on the call. And you can see them here, and you can see that we both have, some people might be wondering what these little things are next to our names. So that's the microphone and the video camera. If I was muted at this point in time on the call, this is me, Megan M., the red line would be over my microphone. Or if I didn't have my camera on, the red line would be over my camera. So you would know that, oh, Megan has a camera, but she doesn't want to turn it on. Now for Lisa down here, you see that she does not have a microphone or a camera next to her name. That's because her computer that she's using doesn't have a camera and it doesn't have a microphone. So she has to call into our meetings so that she can hear us and that we can hear her. And you'll notice that on calls, if somebody is on the call, that if they don't have a camera, then they won't have a little camera option there. So that's just how you can see the participants and who's on the call if you want to look at it as a list rather than, you know, looking at all the videos. Next, we have on the participants list at the bottom, and again, this is helpful when you're in a class sometimes and you don't want to interrupt the speaker, but you want to raise your hand because you have a question. You can see that option on the bottom right-hand corner where it says raise hand. So you can click that, and then it puts a little hand raise on your picture so the instructor knows you guys have a question. And then it also puts it on the participants list as well. And then if you want to lower your hand where it said raise hand, you can lower it in that same area. Once your question gets answered, you can lower your hand so that they know that you don't have a question anymore. So that's just another way, again, if you didn't want to interrupt this speaker, didn't want to unmute yourself just yet, you can raise your hand, and then the instructor, whoever's hosting, can say, oh, you know, Megan, did you have a question? And then I could unmute myself at that point, ask my question, lower my hand, and go on with the class. So that's just a fun little thing you could do. So going back to the bottom of the Zoom call, we went through the participants. We talked about raising and lowering your hand. Then you have the chat box. So the chat can be fun as well. You can chat to other participants. You can chat to everyone. Sometimes people, again, don't want to interrupt the instructor while they're doing a class. So they just type in the chat their question, and then at the end of class, the instructor can go through all the chats and answer those. So if you click on chat, it'll pull up a chat box, and here you can chat with, pick who you want to chat with. So on our call, we just had a couple people. So I could just chat with the host, San Antonio Oasis, and that would send a private message just to the host. Or to Lisa, I could do the same thing, and that would send just a private message to that person if I just wanted to send a private message and not everyone else would see. Or you can click on everyone, and that will send a message to everyone. So whatever is blue, whatever is highlighted in blue is who you're sending the message to. So I'm going to go back, and you can see here, it says everyone. If I type the message here and hit enter, it will send a chat to everyone in the class. And you can say hi, you can say that you're there, that you're looking forward to the presentation, or at the end you can say, oh, great job, or have a comment and write that to everyone. Or again, if you wanted to send a private message, you could change that and send privately to one person or another. All right, and then last but not least are these fun reactions. So you can give a little thumbs up to someone, or you can clap your hands if you want. Those are a couple fun reactions that you can add to the presentation. Maybe the instructor asked a question and you want to say yes, thumbs up. You can respond that way. Or if you liked what someone said, then you can give a thumbs up or clap. So just a couple fun things to add to the class. And those are the only two options. They don't give any negative, like a thumbs down or anything on these two reactions, if that's something that you wanted to add, but they like to stay positive, I guess. And then lastly, I know I said last but not least on the last one, but in order to leave a meeting, sometimes this can be kind of confusing. So all you have to do is hit this leave button on the bottom. It's in red. you'll click on leave, and then it'll say, are you sure you want to leave this meeting? And you hit yes, and then it'll take you out. If at any point in time during the class you need to leave, you can always come back in. You can leave and then join back, and the host can accept you into the class again. Sometimes people get kicked out. You can always join back again. But if you want to leave on your own, that is how you leave the class. So again, these are just the basics, just going through basic things that you can do on Zoom. There's much more. There's virtual backgrounds. I know a lot of people like to learn about that. There are different tips and tricks, but just didn't want to get into the weeds too much. Again, these are basics on how to use Zoom, how to chat, how to mute yourself, unmute yourself, show your video or not. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this class. And again, at any point in time, feel free to give us a call at Oasis, 210-236-5954. We are happy to help. Thank you and have a great day.